back, and Arsenal find themselves still in the Champions League with maybe Ishaka back and Odegaard firing again, maybe they can use that as something to catapult them forward.
And just looking at the latest transfer news, obviously, it's been a bit of a shadow over Arsenal for the last few seasons, really, that they are really searching for that big number 9 that's going to supply them a lot of goals. Obviously, sort of Alexander Isak-esque, who actually scored at the Emirates against them in that cup tie first leg. They tried to replace him with that sort of vacant position with Kai Havertz. It's not really worked. It's more of a false number 9, and then Gabriel Jesus came in and maybe showed some positivity, but
Arsenal de Gunners nyine ukabona iragukonfusinga ku isoko. Abanyamakuru babigarukagaho bibaza ese Arsenal de Gunners ifite imvune zingana kuriya. Byiza nshuti bakunzi ba Darwin Sports Zone, nizere ko meze neza, nizere ko aho muri hose muri amahoro mukomeje kugenda neza cyane 5-5 kabisa. Muze komeze ramugire umunsi mwiza mugenda musoza icyumweru cyiza, ndetse weekend nziza kubatangiye kunyenda bahijyamo rwose ibintu komeze kugenda neza cyane 5-5. Ngi rero ubasuza ni Darwin, umuhungu wanyu baje kugenda mbagezaho amakuru menshi cyane y'imikino abarimo aravuga ku munyamakuru bigiye bitandukanye, hari ku mugabane burayi mu gihugu cyacu ndetse no ku mugabane wa Afrika. Hari amakuru menshi cyane abana bagenda mvugwa mu binyamakuru banditse, mana rwose ntuze kugenda abicikwa 5-5. Rero komeze rero wibane nanjye nkubwira ngo uraza kugenda ubana nanjye mu cyo bita transfer. Hari byinshi cyane muri ravuga muri za transfer, turaza kugenda tubicamo, ndetse tuze kugaruka ku kipe Arsenal de Gunners ku mugoroba. Rwose hari ikinyamakuru kirimo abanyamakuru babiri bahiganiraga ku kabisa, bagenda komoza rero akamagambo rwose y'umutoza Mikel Arteta, ndetse n'ukuntu Arsenal yagakwiye kuba yitwara muri transfer kugira ngo irizoze ino saison imeze neza cyane, kandi yaragerageje kugenda nyine ikora byinshi cyane, dore ko inafite akazi kenshi cyane muri no minsi. By'umwihariko biratangira ku cyumweru gwizaba itana mu mitwe n'ikipe ya Manchester City, ubona ko akazi nikazaba koroshye, haba ari ku ikipe ya Arsenal de Gunners, ku ikipe ya Manchester City, ubona ko rwose na makipe yose atorohewe kandi afite akazi kenshi cyane ugomba kugenda akora rwose muri weekend. Ku munsi wo ku cyumweru ubona ko bizaba ari hatari byose. Rero reka nkubwire ngo bana nanjye muri iki kino kiganiro kugira ngo tuze kugera twibana neza cyane 5-5, kugira ngo ugende wumva ubwino hatari muri Arsenal de Gunners ndetse no mu yandi makipe ukunda, abakinnyi ukunda, byose uraza kugenda ubibonera hano ku 5-5 muri kino kiganiro. Nkubwira ngo rero nimba uri mushyashya kuri channel yacu, tangira ukora subscribe, ariko kandi nimba utuwe wibana natwe genda ukora like, share na comment kugira ngo ibiganiro dukora ikomeze kugenda bigera kuri benshi cyane. Ukora like kugira ngo utwereke ko hari kandi abo dukorera muhari muri tayari kugenda rwose mukora ibikorwa by'agataha boneka kabisa. Nshimira benshi cyane bagenda bandika muri comment mudutera imbaraga, ariko kandi nawe mutabikora mwibuke mu bikore, dore ko rwose muri babyumva, ariko mujye mugenda tuburesinga kugira ngo tubone ko dufite abantu dukora kandi badushyigikiye kabisa. Rero reka ngende nangire mu cyo bita transfer. Rero ndabanza mpere muri transfer zimaze bavuga mu yandi makipe, ubundi nze kuza isoreza mu ikipe ya Arsenal de Gunners, ndetse ngaruke ku magambo abanyamakuru bakora kuri TV yitwa Short TV. ubona ko iyo TV rwose ari amagambo bagenda bagana ku ikipe ya Arsenal de Gunners bakomoza ku Umwataka, ndetse no mu yindi myanya ikipe ya Arsenal de Gunners yagakwiye kuba ifiringa kugira ngo iyo gap ivemo, binayifasha kugenda yitwara neza cyane mu iyo bita UEFA Champions League, mu cyo bita Carabao Cup, ndetse no mu cyo bita English Premier League, ndetse n'andi marushanwa ku mugabane burayi, dore ko birakomeye cyane bigeze aho rukomeye umwana arira nyina ntiyumve. Byose rero ikipe ya Arsenal de Gunners kugenda nyigarukaho 5-5 mumaze kumenyera. Reka rero mbere muri za transfers mo ziravugwa mu makipe mukunda, mu bakinnyi mukunda ese barerekeza he, dore ko rwose ku munsi wo kwa mbere saa 6 z'ijoro rwose transfer windows zaba zifungwa. Ubona ko amakipe azaba atariyubaka atarabona abakinnyi, bizategeza rwose ubwo sezo izabirangira. Urumva ko birakomeye cyane. Rero amakipe n'impamvu asabwa kugenda akora ibikorwa by'agataraboneka kugira ngo yitware neza ku isoko. Reka mbere rero mu ikipe ya FC Barcelona yamaze kongera rwose umwana ukiri muto midfielder hatari bakamwita Pablo Gavila. Uno mugabo rero ni umugabo rwose wo mu midfielder no munyespanye akiri ikipe ya FC Barcelona, bamaze kugenda amwongera amasezerano y'imyaka igera kuri 5. Ubona ko azageza mu mwaka wa 2030. Ubona ko bararyoye mu ikipe ya FC Barcelona, bamaze kugenda bamuterekamo rwose kisaga afite release clause ya 1 billion Pedri, ndetse n'ubita Gavi bafite budget rwose cyangwa release clause ya billion. Ubwo mwifuza cyangwa wifuza hano bagabo bombi urumva ko bagomba kurekura ubwatsi hatari bo bita Yamini Yamal ndetse no bita Inigo Martinez ubwo tukesha ikinyamakuru cyitwa Mundo Deportivo cyari indani mu ikipe ya Real Madrid mu ikipe ya FC Barcelona baratubwira ko rwose ngaba nibo bagabo bakurikira ndetse no bita Rafinha Beloli umunya Brazil hatari ubona ko bakina ikipe ya FC Barcelona ngo bagomba kongera amasezerano nako umutoza Hans Flick akomeje kugenda yubaka utuntu twe gake ikipe ya FC Barcelona yasoreje ku mwanya wa kabiri muri UEFA Champions League muri film phase werekeye muri round 16 bategereje amakipe uko azabatana mu mitwe mu area muri playoff cyangwa kamaramaka ubundi agende ashwanyaguza ubona ko Hans Flick ni umugabo hatari karero nigire ko bita Neymar Junior dos Santos ngo tugeshe ikinyamakuru cyitwa Mundo Deportivo kandi kiratubwira ko bita Neymar Junior dos Santos rwose ngo birabafisha ko ashaka kuva rwose mu ikipe ya hariya ya Al Nassr ngo birashoboka cyane nka 98% kugira ngo asoke mu ikipe Al Hilal yerekeze mu ikipe ya hariya wabo muri Santos nubwo ikipe ya hariya Inter Miami kina rwose bagenzi bakinanye mu ikipe ya FC Barcelona barimo Lionel Messi na Luis Suarez bakinamo ariko amahirwe menshi arerekeza hariya muri Santos ikipe hariya mu bwana iwabo ikipe yo mu gihugu cy'iwabo kabisa ubona ko birakomeye cyane nibyo kwitega reka tujye turebe uko biraza akuba bigenda ikanerekeze rero ku mugabo bisa Mario Hermoso none n'umugabo rero ukina ikipe ya Bayer Leverkusen rwose ikipe ya Bayer Leverkusen yamaze kugenda rwose imutira imuvanye mu ikipe ya hariya ya AS Roma mu gihugu cy'Abataliyani ubona ko rwose ngo official confirmed amakipe akomeje kugenda yubakana amakuru dukesha bita Fabrizio Romano ubona ko abagenda duterekamo amakuru hatari ajyanye na za transfer ikipe AS Monaco kandi ngo rwose iri miracles icyo bita deal Jordan Henderson kuva mu ikipe Ajax Amsterdam none umugabo rwose wakina ikipe ya Liverpool de Cops rwose ubwo yasozanye ngarayo yerekeza mu ikipe ikomeye cyane Ajax Amsterdam rero mu ikipe hariya rwose ya AS Monaco gishobora kugenda ubona amahirwe yo kugenda imusinyisha kubona ko ko mwaka umwe here we go kabisa urako ngo biraza kuba biba mu kanya kaza kuza mwaka umwe kabisa usinya mu ikipe ya AS Monaco avuye mu ikipe ya Ajax Amsterdam nako birakomeye cyane 5-5 Robena muri press conference avuga ati abagabo twagendaga dufatanya ndetse abasore banjye ku mugoro bampesheje icyubahiro rwose batsinda neza cyane banahita bikarifya muri kimwe icya 16 cyangwa round 16 mu cyo bita Europa League ese baraza kwa bitwara bate umutoza bita Robena muri tumubwira ngo akazi keza wagakoze ariko garuka uze no muri Premier League ugende twirika ko uri umugabo ushoboye kandi wabikoze mu ikipe ya Sporting Lisbon kugira ngo amakipe mu gihugu cy'Ubwongereza nayo yongere agusobanukirwe kanekeze mu ikipe ya Tottenham Hotspur ngo yamaze kugera rwose istanga miliyoni 60 z'amayero kugira ngo ibe yasinyisha kuri kese yo bita Matister ukina ikipe ya Bayern Munich mu gihugu cy'Abadage dore ko rwose ngire ritegura ko yaramutanga miliyoni 60 kugira ngo agende afasha ira squad ya Tottenham Hotspur afatanya na bita Dominic Solanke ndetse abitsa ba Kulusevski hari mu ikipe ya Tottenham kugira ngo barebe ko bayigeza ku rwego bashaka uno umusture y'ikatari umutoza Ange Postecoglou nkeka ko abonye n'umwana ukiri muto dore ko afite imyaka 19 byaba ari ibintu byiza cyane ara ku ruhande rw'ikipe ya hariya Tottenham Hotspur ubona ko birakomeye cyane rero nigire mu ikipe ya Manchester United ngo official here we go umugabo rero ukomeye cyane bita Patrick Dorgu kuri 37 z'amayiro aho yakiniraga ikipe ikomeye cyane ya Lecce ngo birashoboka rwose abashaka kugenda bazishyura amahirwe menshi ashobora kugenda rwose yerekeza hariya ngo byaba ari ibintu byiza cyane ubona ko ni ikipe ya Manchester United ikomeje kugenda nayo yikorera utuntu twayo hatari ikanerekeze rero mu ikipe ikomeye cyane iyo nta yindi kabisa iyo ni ikipe rero ikomeye cyane ya Arsenal de Gunners nayo ngo rwose yarinjiye muri wese yo gusinyisha n'umwana ukiri muto Tottenham Hotspur yifuza kuba yasinyisha umusereka hatari w'ikipe ikomeye cyane ya hariya rwose ikipe ya Bayern Munich mu gihugu cy'Abadage bamwita Matister kugira ngo barebe ko bagera musinyisha ariko Tottenham irimo iratanga ubwatsi atadere ko Arsenal de Gunners yarifashe ngo kireka bitumye rwose ikipe ya Tottenham igiye failinga nibwo bagenda bavugisha neza cyane ndo mwana ukiri muto ese umwataka Matister umwana ukiri muto niye waza gatanga competition mu ikipe ya Arsenal de Gunners ni ikibazo cyo kwibaza dore ko mu ikipe y'Arsenal Gunners rwose barakomeye bashaka umwataka ariko byananiranye bijyanye n'amafaranga arimo aratanga ubona ko birakomeye cyane. Reka nerekeze rero mu ikipe Everton ngo tugeshe ikimakuru cyitwa iSport kiratubwira ko ikipe ya Brighton of Albion ngo rwose irimo umwana ukiri muto imyaka 20 bamwita Evan Faxon mu ikipe Everton byaze bikunze ngiramushaka ngirebe ko yamwongera rwose hariya muri squad ya dore ko David Moyes akomeje guheka ikipe yahara rwose ya Everton wagira ngo ni Everton nshyashya amakipe ahubwo araza kuba yumva ibitangaza by'uno mugabo bita David Moyes toza ikipe ya Everton birakomeye cyane. Kanerekeze rero mu ikipe ikomeye cyane hariya ya Paris Saint-Germain mu mugabo bita Marco Asensio bavuye mu ikipe hara rwose ya Real Madrid yerekeza mu ikipe ya hariya rwose ya Aston Villa. Ikipe Aston Villa rero ngirarebera hafi situation n'umugabo bita Marco Asensio dore ko avuye mu kipe ya Madrid yerekeza mu ikipe ya Paris Saint-Germain ko ntabona umwanya rero ngo ikipe ikomeye cyane hariya rwose ya Aston Villa ngiramwifuza kugira ngo igende musinyisha ko tugeshe ikinyamakuru cyitwa Mail Sport ngo rwose ubwo mbere ko transfer window iragenda ifungwa ngo rwose ikipe ya hariya rwose Aston Villa ngirifuza ko yagenda imusinyisha ibyo rero byatabiha amahirwe ikipe ya Arsenal Gunners kuba yasinyisha umugabo w'umwongereza bita Olivier Watkins imyaka 29 kugira ngo ave mu ikipe ya Aston Villa yerekeze mu ikipe ya Arsenal Gunners dore ko ikipe ya Arsenal Gunners yatanze offer ya miliyoni 30 baravuga ati mucire birarura uno mugabo bita Olivier Watkins ntagurishwa dore ko twatanze wita John Duran gumana rero uwo bita Olivier Watkins byaba ari ibintu byiza cyane ariko baramutse rwose bari kuyo bita John Duran bakarikora no bita Amateur no bita Olivier Watkins bafite icyizere cyo gusinyisha bita Marco Asensio umunyespanye nawe ubona ko atari mubi cyane nubwo atahiriwe kabisa ariko ubona ko yari afite talahatari yarafite tare hatari namakuru dukesha rero ikinyamakuru cyitwa Mail Sport kabisa. Kanerekeze rero mu ikipe ikomeye cyane ya Manchester United nayo ngo irerekeza ngo ku ikipe irerekeza ra mu iratera ijisho ra mu ikipe y'abantu Munchen ana makipe mu gihugu cyo Bwongereza ubona ko arimo aravuga kuri no mwana imyaka 19 ukindi ikipe y'abantu Munchen reko ikipe ya Manchester United ikipe ya Manchester City pardon ikipe ya Manchester United ikipe ya Arsenal Gunners Tottenham Hotspur ndetse na Chelsea the Blues mu birarindiye ngo birebe ko uno mwana rwose yakerekeza muri ano makipe ese arajya muri Chelsea ese arajya muri Tottenham Hotspur ese arajya muri Manchester United cyangwa arajya muri Arsenal ariko ikipe ifite amahirwe yo kugenda imwegukana n'ikipe bita Tottenham Hotspur dore ko yongera mwifuza cyane uno mwana bita Mark Ter ubona ko birakomeye cyane ngo bita rero Lamine Yamal ngo rwose uno n'umugabo ugiye kwiyongeraho amafaranga menshi niba ko Deko ngari umugabo ugiye kongererwa amasezerano ngo rwose akajya ahabwa amafaranga menshi cyane ngo nyuma yo bita Robert Lewandowski ndetse niwo bita Frenkie de Jong ra mu ikipe ya FC Barcelona birakomeye cyane urako ni ibintu byiza cyane ku ikipe ikomeye cyane ya hariya rwose ya FC Barcelona ndetse n'abagabo barimo bakomeza igenda yongera amasezerano n'ibintu byiza cyane ubona ko birakomeye cyane. Kansoreze rero kuri mo biragenda bivuga muri za transfer nsoreze rero ko Gazeta dello Sport iratubwira ko bita Andreas Christensen ukiri ikipe ya FC Barcelona ikipe rero ikomeye cyane zara muri Arabia Saudite ngo zifuza ko azagenda zemusinyisha ngo rwose mbere yuko amasaha amaki araza kubarangira ngo rwose bita Andreas Christensen araba rwose amenya amagesa yerekeza muri Arabia Saudite cyangwa araguma mu ikipe rero mu ikipe FC Barcelona birakomeye cyane nako ni ibintu byiza cyane FC Barcelona yabikoze dore ko inavuga mu bukene kandi ifite abakiri benshi byari ibintu byiza cyane Oita Andreas Christensen abonye ekipe yerekezamo ubona ko byaba ari ibintu byiza cyane. Reka rero nigiye muri transfer zimo ziravugwa mu ikipe ya Arsenal Gunners by'umwihariko ngiye gukomoza ku magambo bano bagabo bagendaga batangaza aba n'abagabo bakomeye cyane bakorera ikinyamakuru cyitwa shorttv.com nawe uze kugenda uyumvire.
What are your sort of expectations for the rest of this season? How do they, you mentioned the Newcastle game, but how do they actually put a positive spin on, suffering so hard in second place, third place, these sort of so close but yet so far situations they've been in? How do they put a positive spin on that from now until the end of the season?
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough one. I think there's no doubt that Arsenal have suffered with injuries. So I think, Arsenal's best player over the last few years is Bukayo Saka has been, and he's been out. He's going to be out for another few weeks. Odegaard was out for 3 weeks this season, so I think that there could be for longer than that. Sorry, earlier in the season. But I think the mentality around the group is could be that they've been a little bit unlucky with injuries and certain decisions like those red cards earlier in the year as well. So I think in terms of the mentality in the squad, they might point to that as kind of not excuses, but maybe things that haven't helped them, and that luck has escaped Arsenal. I've heard that quite a bit this season. Things like the Havertz handball, the last minute against was it Brighton that they played? But yeah, I mean that disallowed goal, luck has gone against them, and maybe they'll point to that as something to rally around. And when those players start coming back, and Arsenal find themselves still in the Champions League with maybe Ishaka back and Odegaard firing again, maybe they can use that as something to catapult them forward.
And just looking at the latest transfer news, obviously, it's been a bit of a shadow over Arsenal for the last few seasons, really, that they are really searching for that big number 9 that's going to supply them a lot of goals. Obviously, the sort of Alexander Isak-esque, who actually scored at the Emirates against them in that cup tie first leg. They tried to replace him with that sort of vacant position with Kai Havertz. It's not really worked. It's more of a false number 9, and then Gabriel Jesus came in and maybe showed some positivity, but maybe a bit of a height issue there, and a bit of a smaller striker. You need a sort of that target man. The search still goes on. It continues to go on. What's the sort of latest from Arsenal in terms of the winter transfer window? Is that still a massive position that they need improvement?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think everyone knows that Arsenal are just missing that killer up front. And I also think that's where fans' frustrations lie most, is with the transfer window. I don't think Arsenal had a particularly good summer transfer window. I think Arsenal fans were really expecting an attacker to come in, and they got Raheem Sterling on deadline day, which I don't think's gone down well. He's barely played for Arsenal. Raheem Sterling's been a fantastic player over his career, but he's definitely in the twilight of his career at the moment. And I think we're 3 weeks into the January window now, just over 3 weeks, and Arsenal still haven't signed a striker, with Gabriel Jesus out with an ACL. He's going to be out for the rest of the season into next season as well. So it really feels like something the club desperately need. In terms of those kind of players, they've been heavily linked with Benjamin Sesko at RB Leipzig, but that 70 million price tag that apparently is on them maybe looks a bit too much for Arsenal to spend in January. There's been reports of them looking at loans, and then maybe trying to go for someone in the summer. Another player to maybe keep an eye on. I'm not sure he's going to solve that kind of powerful striker, height problem that you mentioned, but Matthias Cunha at Wolves, it looked as if he was going to sign a new contract at Wolves. Those contract talks seem to have stalled a little bit, and there has been interest from Arsenal. The club has been said to have been big admirers of him. But yeah, I mean, that is one to keep an eye on, Matthias Cunha, for sure. I think if Arsenal
ni ikipe ya Sunderland ubwo bayiganiragaho ati ese ni iki rwose kiratuma ikipe ya Sunderland zongera kugarukamo neza, yongera kuba ari Arsenal iryana, ari Arsenal ishobora gukora ibintu bye bitandukanye kandi byiza muri no season 2024-2025. ese ni iki kiraza kuba kiyifasha kugira ngo isoze ino season iri hejuru mu cyo bita Carabao Cup, yongere yigarurire ikipe ya Real Newcastle yayikora comeback, dore ko ifite umwenda w'ibitego 2 kandi isabwa gutsinda ura mukino hejuru y'ibitego 2, ubona ko kugira ngo ikomeze muri round ikurikira yerekeze wenda semi final. ubona ko yerekeze final, reko semi final bayirimo. ese biragenda bite? bagendaga bayigarukaho, banagaruka ku Musterika yifuza, bagaruka kuko yitwaye muri UEFA Champions League, bagaruka kuri byinshi cyane mu kibi ya Sunderland bagendaga bayigarukaho. nubwo atese muri Premier League nyuma ko ikipe ya Liverpool yo kusibarusha amanota agera kuri 6 kandi ifite ikirarane. ese Arsenal the Gunners irasabwa iki? benshi cyane bakavuga ngo Arsenal the Gunners ishobora kuba ikikanga ko ikipe ya Manchester City iki hafi yabo kandi n'abatera ikiugazi tukabona ko nyine Arsenal de Gunners nyine irasabwa byinshi, irasabwa kuba yakora ibintu byakataraboneka. Rero bano banyamakuru bakora ku ikinyamakuru televiziyo bita shorttv.com bagendaga bavuga ni televiziyo ikomeye cyane hariya muri London, tutaza kugira ngo ikerese bavuga ati ese kipe Arsenal de Gunners irasabwa iki kugira ngo byibuze ibe yagira gute yarangiza ino sezo imeze neza cyane. Baragira ati rero rwose ikipe Arsenal de Gunners ni ikipe mu minsi yashize yabonyemo ikarita y'umutuku ku mwana ukiri muto bita Lewis Kelly ubwo batsindaga ikipe ya Wolverhampton Wanderers bigoye igitego kimwe ku busa, wana ko cy'umugabo bita Ricardo Calafiori yabaye umucunguzi. Banagaruka ku ikipe Arsenal de Gunners ukuntu yitwaye kuri Ipswich Town, bagaruka Arsenal de Gunners ukuntu yitwaye kuri Brighton, bagaruka ku ikipe Arsenal de Gunners ukuntu yitwaye kuri Girona. Baravuga ati ikipe Arsenal de Gunners byanze bikonze ikeneye umwataka ubimariramo, bakavuga ati rero kugira ngo irangize neza birasaba ngo ibe yagira gute yakongera squad yayo ikongeramo abakinnyi. Ese abo bakinnyi baraza ko bari bande? Ese imvune ifite ziraba zagarutse? Byose ugasanga ni ibintu ugomba kugenda wibaza uvuga ngo ese ikipe Arsenal de Gunners koko iri tayari kuba yakora amateka yongeye gutwara Premier League? Wabireba ukabona kibigaragara nyuma yo kunimira itwara ku isoko, imisi baye myinshi, ibisi ibaye myinshi kabisa. Abantu bavuga ngo haraza umustriker kanaka, haraza Isaac bakabagarika kongera amasezerano muri Newcastle, wajya ko bita Dusan Vlahovic ukabona ntibirimo birakunda, wajya ku mugabo ukomeye cyane bita umugabo bita Benjamin Sesko munya Slovenia ukabona ntabwo urimo birakunda, bajya kuwo bita Olivier Watkins ukabona nawe ni ikibazo gikomeye cyane mu ikipe Arsenal de Gunners. Arimo aribaza ngo ese Arsenal iri tayari cyangwa ntiri tayari? Ugasanga ni ibintu nyine Arsenal de Gunners nyine ukabona iragukonfusinga ku isoko. Abanyamakuru babigarukagaho bibaza ese Arsenal de Gunners ifite imvune zingana kuriya, ese Arsenal de Gunners ko irimo iritwara gutya ku isoko, ese yabizi ikishaka, ese ntiyabikikanga ko ikipe Manchester City yaba ikibari inyuma ibateye cyugaze, ariko itarimo iratekereza ko opponent ukomeye cyane bahanganye ari ikipe ya Liverpool ibarasha amanota 6 kandi inafite ko ikirarane igomba kuba yatsinda cyangwa ikanganya amanota agakomeza kwiyongera mu ikipe ya Arsenal de Gunners. Rero ubona ko ntago byoroshye. Rero reka nkomoze kuri transfer bagenaga bavuga ko ikipe ya Arsenal de Gunners yifuje bita John Duran kuri $60 baravuga ati mu kire birarura badoye 77 muri Al Nassr. Ibi faranga ni byinshi cyane. Arsenal de Gunners irongera yikoza ko bita Olivier Watkins, nabibabwiye ukuntu byagenze. Arsenal de Gunners ngo iri ku mwana bita Mark Ter kuva mu ikipe yahe yabaye mushina amakipe ya Tottenham Hotspur ramushaka, ariko se ikipe Arsenal de Gunners ikwiye umwana w'imyaka 19 utanabanzamo mu ikipe ya Bayern Munich. Barumva ko ari umwana waza guhereza competition bita Kai Havertz na Gabriel Jesus. Ngiye mbona atari ko byagakwiye, ahubwo ikipe Arsenal de Gunners yagakwiye kuba itekereza ko bita ku mugabo ukomeye cyane bita Dusan Vlahovic cyangwa Victor Gyökeres ikaba yavunira mu mavi mbere yuko ino merikato irangira, bakabyiuze mu kwezi kwa kabiri bakaza bameze neza cyane bashininga. Bano bakinyi bagomba kugura wenda bakabafasha muri UEFA Champions League, dore ko mu maraundi nabwo ntibizabyoroshye, ukareba ukabona baba ari abakinyi baza kuyifasha. Kumuwinga singekereza ko obita Ishaka yazaba umukinnyi mwiza aje nkuko yarameze, mbona nabyo byari ikindi kibazo. Rero ikipe ya Arsenal de Gunners yagakwiye kuba irebe kavango ese niki tusabwa, niki tugomba gukora kugira ngo Arsenal yacu ibe imeze neza. Byose rero nubyo kurindira kugeza merikato rwose irangiye, dore ko izafungwa ku itariki, dore ko izafungwa ku munsi wo kuwa mbere, bazaba bafunga ku munsi wo kuwa mbere saa 6 z'ijoro. Urumva ko hasigaye iminsi igera kuri 3. Ikipe ya Arsenal de Gunners iracyafite nubwo ituzuye neza iyo minsi, ariko yagakwiye kubifatirana iyo minsi ikaba ikoramo ikintu cy'akatarane. Ariko tureke kugenda tuyijudginga burya amahirwe bayo cyangwa n'iki ari byo barimo, kandi bareba ekipe yabo ikisabwa cyangwa n'ikibo icyo ikwiye. Ubwo rero katugere turebe ese ni Benjamin Sesko, ese ni Yohani Wisandre ko nabo bamuvuzwe, ese nuwo bita Victor Gyökeres, Dreko Olivier Watkins bamaze kubabwira ngo mucire birarura. Katugere uko bizagenda reka rero mbabwire ngo ngereka ansoreza aha yara makuru imikino ndagiraga mbageza mu kanya ndaje ngaruke kuri Premier League dusesengura 5-5 nge Darwin murabizi ko muri Premier League ho ndaje mbabwire no ku mukino ikipe Arsenal de Gana izabikina ikipe Man City ese bizagenda bite taza kwifashisha abagabo benshi cyane kugira ngo yibuze tugende twerekana ese niki Arsenal de Gana zisabwa niki Chelsea isabwa niki Man City isabwa niki Liverpool isabwa kugira ngo muri Premier League bizagende neza reka nkubwire ngo rero wakoze kubona nanjye Imana kurindi bano byo kora byose bya Musa assalamu alaikum ndagukunda cyane.